All right, y'all. So this is my first attempt at making like a YouTube video or a longer form social media content. This is actually my second take of trying to do this intro because I just rambled and I'm trying to not do that. But long story short, I just want to give you guys a little background here. So I've wanted to do some longer form social media content. Didn't know where to start with it. As I was studying for my CSSD, and when I've studied for any board exam or certification, I get down like rabbit holes of these brain rot things to just take my mind off of studying. And I was really into watching the full days of eating of World's Strongest Man competitors and then people trying to emulate like those 10,000 calorie diets. And I had this moment where I was like, how could I turn something like that into nutrition education for my players, for other dietitians, etc. And so what I landed on was we're about to go into fall camp right now. We've got a couple days off before. So what I wanted to do was have like a full day of eating and training to simulate what one of our athletes goes through during a day in fall camp. So essentially, you know, I was going to do the full recommendation, like the full textbook recommendations for what my nutrition is going to look like, and that'll be in the next video. But essentially what it's going to look like is I'm going to have a simulation practice designed by our strength coaches where, you know, I'll do like a circuit, a med ball circuit to simulate Indy period. I'll get on the bike for metabolic plays. I'll do have a little bit of a water break, like I'm not on that special teams. They'll have me do a second team period that'll be like prowlers or lunges depending on field access. Another special team circuit where I'll do an ab circuit. I'll run cross field, so get some tempo runs in, another water break, and then they gave me a competition period as like a finisher. So pretty hefty metabolic demand there. I'll go in, get my post-workout meal like our guys would do, and then go and lift in the afternoon. So I thought it'd be fun to give myself a physical challenge and then also challenge myself nutritionally to meet all the textbook needs of an athlete during a stressful period. So it should be a fun adventure. I'm actually recording this at the end of this day, so it's been extremely physically challenging, but really fun. But I'll transition over to the video I filmed yesterday about how I calculated my needs, the real hard education part of this, and then you'll get into the rest of the video following me along for a day. But this is the actual value, the actual education. Right, how I'm going to set up my nutrition to match that double training day that guys will have during fall camp. So right now, I'm currently 230 pounds, 7% body fat, according to the bod pod. When you do have body composition data, and especially with athletes, I like using the Cunningham equation to calculate resting metabolic rate. So the Cunningham equation is 22 times your fat-free mass in kilograms plus 500. It's a super simple equation to use, very quick to use. For me, that spit out a resting metabolic rate of 2,639 calories. Then what we do from there is we use an activity factor. So in general, when we are in a heavy training block or two-a-days especially, right, and I'll be doing a practice and then a lift, we use an activity factor somewhere between 1.9 to 2.2. And when I took that range, 5,000 calories was basically sitting right in the middle. And I want to use round numbers. And then if I go over, I go over. That's great. But so I set 5,000 calories as my bare minimum needs for my double day of training as a has-been football player. Then what we do from there to get our macros is we start breaking it down. So we always start with protein, right? We want to make sure that we're hitting our protein goals with our athletes, make sure that we are providing all of the necessary nutrients to rebuild muscle tissue, especially during a high stress period like fall camp. So the general range that we know is effective is between 1.6 and 2 grams per kilogram. Because fall camp is so demanding in terms of practice and lift and additional walkthroughs and just time spent on your feet and in the building, I really do like guys to be at the top end of that range. I don't think there's any harm in it. We know from research there's no harm in it. So for me at 230 pounds, 2 grams per kilogram, so 230 divided by 2.2 times 2, is going to spit out 210 grams of protein. That's a rounded number. We're going to use round numbers for all these calculations, not 3s and 7s and all that. But that's the amount of protein that we're going to need. And then from there, as you'll see throughout the day, and I'll explain as we follow along meal to meal, I'm going to be trying to hit that 0.3 gram per kilogram per meal recommendation as well throughout the day. So from there, what we'll do is we'll calculate fat next. And the reason we'll calculate fat next is because fat needs are the same general recommendation for all athletic populations, because we do need an adequate amount of dietary fat in the diet for absorption of vitamins A, D, E, and K. We need it for hormonal health. We need it for insulation, all these other things, right, that just relate to our general health, as well as just that resting energy store, to make sure that we do provide our body with all the different substrates that it needs for the different levels of energy production, etc. So within that 20 to 35% total need, because my training and my lack of adaptation in the aerobic space is so high, I want to portion more of my total calories towards carbohydrate. So I'm going to shoot for the lower end of that 20 to 35% of total calories. So taking 20% of 500 or 5,000 calories, then dividing that by 9 is going to leave me with a minimum need of, again, a rounded number of 115 grams of fat. So from there, we can calculate our remaining needs from carbohydrate. So that is going to be 5,000 minus 210 grams of protein times 4 grams per kilogram minus 115 grams of fat times 9 grams per kilogram, which will spit out a remaining 3,125 calories. We will divide that by 4 grams per calorie of carbohydrate, which will spit out 780 grams of carbs, which for me, so that we can cross-check that, 780 grams of carbs divided by 230 divided by 2.2 is going to yield just a little bit under 8 grams per kilogram. So a pretty standard recommendation for what we would want for a team sport athlete, somewhere in that 5 to 8 grams per kilogram range. With our weight gain guys, we might push closer to that 10 if we really need it during fall camp, but that is still going to meet the general recommendation. So with this, I'm not going to cheat. I'm not going to use a ton of liquid calories to get 5,000 calories a day in. I want to use a majority whole foods, and I also want it to be options that are available to my athletes. So during their day, they will come into the facility and they will immediately go to breakfast. So I will have a whole food breakfast here at home. After that, they'll go to meetings, team meeting, and go to practice right after that. After practice, we will serve them lunch. So once I have my practice, barring, whether or not I can walk out of the facility after that, I'll come home and have whole foods here. I'll probably do like a rice or a pasta, some type of lean protein, veggies, fruit, all that good stuff. From there, I will be using only options that the guys have at the fueling station as my pre-lift snack that I'll eat before I go and I hit the weight room. Following lift, I will prepare a smoothie. So that'll be one of the few times that I do use those liquid calories because we will always provide our guys a smoothie after they're done lifting. So I'll make a post-lift smoothie that I'll make with all the same ingredients that we provide our athletes. From there, we'll have dinner after that. Again, dinner is going to be very basic options, very basic performance options that our guys would always be able to get their hands on. And finally, I'll finish with a night snack. That's one of those places where, again, I will use some liquid calories because I recommend a lot of our guys to take the high-protein chocolate milks that we provide home with them so they can have additional protein, additional carbohydrates that's easy to consume right before bed. I'll pair that with some type of carbohydrate source and fruit. And then the only other additional time that I will have liquid calories throughout my day is I do plan on adding some Powerade during my simulation practice in the morning. Reason being is when we start to have those sessions that last in that 1.5 to 2 hour range, it doesn't hurt to add in somewhere between 30 and 60 grams of carbs, right? We don't need to push into those endurance recommendations. It's not absolutely paramount that we do that, especially if it's like barely going to be over an hour or maybe just an hour and 30. But for somebody who does not do a ton of aerobic training, I do a lot of lifting. I don't do a lot of cardio. I do enough to keep my heart healthy. I think it's going to be beneficial to provide a little bit of extra carbohydrate during that time, even if it's not doing a ton for my performance. It will help to reduce some of that mental fatigue that you start to feel during that session. So that's how I'm breaking down my nutrition for tomorrow. I'll walk you guys through meal by meal, kind of explain what I'm doing it, why I'm doing it, but that's the rationale behind it. I am really not that worried about getting in 5,000 calories. I think that's going to be pretty smooth for me. I am worried about the training. So, yeah, hopefully I get a good night of sleep and don't think too hard about what Gabe and Cody have lined out for me because that morning workout's going to be a bear. But it's going to be fun. So that is it. I will see you guys in the morning and we'll follow along meal to meal, take you through my workouts, and I'll be a has-been football player for a day.
All right, good morning. It is currently 5:15 a.m. We are going to get rolling with the day. So something that I forgot to mention yesterday is alongside tracking all the nutrition and showing you guys the training that I'm going to do, I'm also going to make sure that I am meeting my fluid needs for the day. So when I worked at Stanford, like a hydration chart that was actually passed down to me that we used with the guys, we recommended it was about 0.75 ounces per pound of body weight for your baseline needs, which is pretty solid. So for me, that's 178 ounces for the day. So I need to consume a minimum of 178 ounces. And then I will be weighing myself in, weighing myself out after every single workout, and any fluids that I need to replace from sweat losses, I will add in addition to that. So we'll track my fluid intake for the day and make sure I get that in as well. I always start my day with a liter of water, take my creatine, my vitamins, all that good stuff. Make sure sports dietitians plug, all of your stuff is that gonna focus? There you go. Make sure all your stuff is NSF certified. This is my creatine. But take my vitamins, get my first liter of water in, go ahead and make me a one, and show you guys what breakfast looks like, and then we'll go practice after that.
All right, so we are sitting down to meal one, our pre-training meal here. So what we've got first up is a fat stack of pancakes. A nice bowl of fruit here with some blueberries, and then some chicken and a whole egg. This meal is going to total out to 44 grams of protein, 200 grams of carbs, and 13 grams of fat. So this meal, as you can tell by the portion sizing, smaller amount of protein, definitely a big emphasis on carbs, right? We're about to go have a really hard training session. So we want to be prioritizing fueling. We want to be prioritizing carbohydrates during that time. So that's why we have a much bigger emphasis on carbs with a smaller amount of protein. We are still hitting that 0.3 gram per kilogram recommendation for protein with this small portion of these complete proteins here, plus some incomplete proteins that you get in the pancake mix. With that, you'll notice we've got pancakes and blueberries, both gonna digest very easy. We want easily digestible sources right now. Don't want to be doing a ton of things like a really big bowl of oats. We might be able to have a little one, but you know, if we're gonna go practice here in a couple hours, we want to make sure this food digests easy so we're not having any GI issues while we're out on the field. So simple digesting carbs, some fruit, small amount of protein, because we are emphasizing carbohydrate, trying to hit
What we generally recommend, like 200 to 300 grams of carbs in the pregame meal. So this looks fantastic. So I'm gonna go ahead and get into this meal, and then we'll go from there. Gonna continue hydrating, continue getting ready for practice, and get ready to attack the day. So let's get started. All right, so we are rolling up to the facility. My lovely fiance is here for moral support. What did you say your prediction was for the workout today?
I said I think you can suffer pretty long, so I like your odds suffering. I don't know if you can run, but I like your odds suffering.
I like your odds suffering, but I don't think you can run. So that's where we're at. We're gonna go hit this. I think we got some players here today doing some extra work. We've got some days off before fall camp, so we're gonna roll. Maybe these guys will get to see me die, so that'll add a fun element to it. All right, so we are done with our FIBO circuit. We've got about another minute to rest, and then we're headed into the med ball circuit, which is going to simulate our Indy period. So FIBO circuit done. Heart rate's sitting at about 120 right now, so I'm in okay shape. We're gonna see how this goes. But next we're moving on to Indy period, which is our med ball circuit. All right, 4 rounds of the med ball circuit done. If you have stress in your life, go throw some heavy shit at the ground, because that was really, really, really fun. Next, we're moving on to what they're calling bike plays. So we say live in 6 seconds, live in the 6 seconds. The average play in football is 6 seconds. So that's what they've got me doing. 6 seconds on, 54 seconds off. I have 10 plays. This is team period number 1 coming up. Okay, team 1 is done. That's brutal. It's starting to catch up to me. Heart rate's sitting around 135, 140 right now. So I'm hanging in there pretty good, but that was tough. Legs are burning. After this, we'll head into team 2. Right now we're acting like I'm not on the special teams that's on the docket for this period. So I'm gonna get in half of the carbohydrate solution I have right now. So I'm gonna get in 30 grams of carbs, more fluids, more electrolytes, catch my breath. And then I believe we'll be rolling into the lunge circuit. Okay, that really sucked. Keep it brief. We're rolling right into the abs circuit, which is gonna be like special teams period, following team period. This is gonna be quick, little burner. Then from there, we'll roll right into cross fields, have a water break, and then finish with our competition period. Okay, so the treadmill in the weight room got snagged. So I came over to the athletic training room, right across the hall. Use the treadmill over there. I was supposed to do 10 seconds on, 50 seconds off on the field. It turned into 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off at about 5.5 miles an hour. And then I just gutted out the last minute at 6 miles an hour. So, feel pretty good. Decided to push myself there, but I don't really know if I was pushing myself. I don't know what that was supposed to feel like because I've never done this. But now we've got water break, and then we are heading into the competition period, which I will film all of. So that'll be the kicker. I'm dead right now. I'm really dead right now. So here we go. Additionally, forgot to mention, before heading into competition period, which is going to be this last period, finished off the last 30 grams of carbs, and I'm through about 2 liters of fluid. So I'm going to be interested to see what my total sweat losses are. But we're getting into the competition period now. This is the period that the whole strength staff has bets on me for. So we're going to see how that goes. But I've got about another 2 minutes of rest here, and then it's time to die. Okay, so before we get started, reminder that I have to do 10 calories, increased by 2 calories every single round, however long it takes me to finish the calories. I have the rest of the minute to rest. We're gonna see how many rounds I get through. And okay, get this thing rolling and go. Calories. Okay. It's 9:12. I need 5. No. No. Okay, so I just finished the workout. Well, I've been laying on the floor for about 10 minutes. I'm just kind of walking to get the legs moving. I think mentally I had a lot more in me in that competition period, but I literally just gassed out. Like, I could not imagine if I would have gone into that underfueled, without breakfast, anything like that. Because I mean, I had over 1,000 calorie meal, an 1,100 calorie meal right before that training session, and I still gassed out at the end. So you gotta eat. You gotta eat to keep up with it. According to my Garmin, and again, Garmin's not the end all be all,
but I burned about 1,108 calories. Again, wearables are something that you got to take sparingly, but nonetheless, it's been tracking stuff on me for over 1.5 years now. So regardless if those calories are accurate, that was an extremely demanding workout. Everything in my body is burning, from my rotator cuff to my quads to my calves to my hips. So hell of a workout. I did better than I thought I would do. I did not cramp because I was well fueled, and I didn't throw up. So no cramping and no throwing up were just my goals for this workout. But I actually think I did better than I thought I could. And I'm keep this one in the back pocket to challenge myself every once in a while. So we're gonna go shower, change, weigh out, see how much fluid I need to replace because I've sweat a lot. And we're gonna get home and eat my post-training meal.
All right, so first things first, post-practice. So practice, quote unquote. So very challenging, legs are fatigued, everything's fatigued. But I weighed myself out and I actually lost 0 weight during that session, which is really cool. Now I also consumed 70 ounces of fluid. So I lost about 4 pounds, but I replaced the fluid losses that I had during that time. So I'm gonna act like I'm just a really good dietitian, but that was just luck. And I really like drinking fluids during my session. But let's get into this next meal. So we've got a nice big bowl of strawberries and blueberries right here. So get in some good antioxidants post lift. And then the actual meal. So you guys, this is a salad bowl. This is a salad bowl of food and it is full up to the top, right? So we've got some barbecue chicken in there that I made earlier this week. We've got a big hefty portion of rice. That's probably 3.5 cups. And there is half of a cucumber diced up, a handful of carrots, as well as a handful of mushrooms. Reason being is makes your food taste good. And if you don't like vegetables, grow up. So post-training, we're looking for about 0.3 grams per kilogram at a meal for protein to make sure we're hitting that threshold. For me, that's right around 30 grams. And we want to be hitting 1.2 grams per kilogram of carbohydrate. So for me, 1.2 grams per kilogram of carbohydrate would be 125 grams. So I'm way past that with this meal. And I'm definitely within my protein threshold because this meal comes to 43 grams of protein, 200 grams of carbohydrate, and 21 grams of fat for a total of 1,161 calories, bringing our total to the day with breakfast and the intra-training Powerade to 2,371 calories. And I am going to absolutely smash this meal because I am starving right now. All I've been thinking about is eating since I got in the car post-workout. So this is post-workout. I'm going to absolutely demolish this, and then we will continue following along from there. All right, so Wing Plate Club. That was delicious, went down super easy. Something I forgot to mention, I also added olive oil to this meal to, one, make sure I'm meeting my total daily fat needs, but also that just kind of helps the meal go down a little bit easier, makes it a little more palatable, especially with all that rice in there. So that meal is down. I still feel hungry, as crazy as that is. So I'll probably eat again in another 2 hours, get to the gym before the afternoon crew shows up, since I have the ability to do that right now. But another thing is I'm actually measuring all these meals out on the scale and all that. So I'll put the actual breakdown in the plan. I just don't think describing those measurements is like super beneficial right now, because then it gets lost in all the other stuff in terms of recommendations of protein, carbs, all that. And then you're just hearing a bunch of numbers. So I'll put the actual breakdown, like the scale weights of all the meals, in the description. Yeah, we're about 2,300 calories in. I'm still starving, but I'm gonna do some work, other things right now, all those things that pay the bills. And then we're gonna hit the gym in a couple hours. I'll show you guys what that pre-training snack looks like. We'll roll from there. All right, so get my pre-training snack in, super basic. I'm having one of these Think protein bars that we have in the fueling station. I don't know how to, oh, there you go. That's how you get that to focus. There you go. It's got 20 grams of protein in there. Pretty solid. And then bagel with jelly. Super simple. Both things I got from the fueling station. This is going to come to 30 grams of protein, 80 grams of carbs, 12 grams of fat, 584 calories total, which brings our daily total to 2,919 calories. Yeah, no time lapse for this, no real explanation. Simple carbs, light amount of protein, all you really need before lift. Yeah, so I will see you guys at the gym. See if I can get through this lift, because the some of the fatigue from the session this morning is starting to set in, so should be fun. Okay, so we are starting here with donkey calf raises. I already hit biceps. I could do a whole video explaining how I split my training up, but I do biceps on leg days because I'm already doing so much volume on my upper body days. But nobody wants to watch somebody train biceps in a hoodie. So starting with calves, we'll do 3 sets here, work up to a top set. Just get the blood flowing in the legs, especially since we're working posterior chain. And most people skip training calves because nobody wants to train calves when they've done a full leg day. So might as well train calves at the beginning. So I'm gonna work up to a top set, film the top set, keep going from there. Damn. Turns out, training your calves after running more than you have in probably 2 years sucks. Okay, so we are moving on to like our meat and potatoes movement for the hamstrings for the day. So we're doing a hip hinge pattern. It's going to be similar to a Romanian or a stiff leg deadlift here on the belt squat. This one's by Atlanta, so it's not a pit shark, so you can call it a pit shark. But doing some belt squat here. Reason we're doing that instead of a barbell, it's just going to help standardize the movement a little bit. It gives you a little bit of support, a little bit of like guidance when you do the movement, because again, my lifting sessions are not for athletic performance. I'm just trying to put on as much muscle as possible. So the more consistent I can keep my reps, the better. So as opposed to the variability on a barbell, we keep it a little less variable here on the belt squat. So again, you're gonna work up to a top set. We did 3 sets of calves. We'll do 4 sets here. Okay. Oh yeah. Oh. Oh. Yeah. 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 Come on. Yeah. Nope. That's okay though. Damn. All right. On to the next. We hit a back off set after that top set there. We're gonna move on to just 2 sets here on single leg hamstring curls. Hammies are plenty warm. No need to throw a bunch of junk volume in. So we'll do 2 hard sets here. Finish off the hamstring. Move into the quads. That'll be it. Intense, brief, all good stuff. Come on.
All right, so we're moving on to quads, leg press. We'll do 4 sets here, work up to a top set, then a back off. As you can tell by my multicolored shirt, it is hot in this gym. But that's why I love this gym. It's a basement gym. Super hardcore, blasting heavy metal, a bunch of incredible equipment. So great environment to train. I'm definitely gonna need to replace some fluids after this lift, but let's get into the leg press.
Oh, come on, get deep. Get deep. Okay. Oh. Okay. Oh.
Pro tip, if when you finish your set, you can't set it down neatly like that, and you're bending the safeties on the machine, the load's probably too much for you. And you should work on being able to handle the load that you're lifting. So don't slam machines around. That's how stuff gets broken. So tip for the gym bros out there. All right, last order of business is leg extensions here on, just like Ronnie Coleman-esque leg extension machine. So 3 sets here, wrap it up. That'll be the day.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
That's it. Done. Done those. All right, so we will get right into it. Post lift smoothie. All the same ingredients I use with the smoothies that we make our guys. Same protein powder, same everything. So it's protein powder, honey, peanut butter, and a banana. That's literally it. This is 34 grams of protein, 75 grams of carbs, 21 grams of fat, 625 calories, which brings our total to the day to 3,544 calories. So I'm gonna smack this. It's probably gonna go down super easy, be super tasty. And yeah, then we'll hit dinner, night snack, and that's gonna wrap it up for the day. So see you at the next one. And just because we make our guys do this, shake check, nothing left. How long did that take me? 30 seconds? Like a minute. Bang, done. See you at dinner. All right, so I was starving still after that post-lift shake. So now we have dinner. So dinner. Dinner is gonna be pasta, beef, and then there's some sauteed mushrooms and onions in there. Dinner is going to be 55 grams of protein, 125 grams of carbs, and 30 grams of fat, 990 calories. Oh, just missed that 1,000 calorie mark. But total for the day then is going to come to
4,534 calories. Then we've got one more, and that is going to cap it off for the day. So I'm going to enjoy this. We're going to have our little nightly chit chat while we have dinner. And I will see you for my night snack. All right, this is the nightcap. So, unfortunately, forgot to grab an Uncrustable from the facility. So, I used the rice cakes we have at home, made at PB&J. We've got another nice big bowl of berries because we ran out of the other fruit in the house. So, still getting that color in. And then we're gonna do one of these high protein chocolate milks as the nightcap. But I'm on the upper echelon of nutrition knowledge in terms of meeting your caloric needs and making it enjoyable. And we turn this into a Ninja Creamy. Like, we got some thick ass ice cream. All I literally did was added a little xanthan gum and some cocoa powder. So, have some nice ice cream, fruit, and a little PB&J there. To cap it out, that meal is gonna come to 19 grams of protein, 91 grams of carbs, and 19 grams of fat for 610 calories, bringing our total daily macros to 225 grams of protein. So nailed that and went a little over. 801 grams of carbs, also nailed it and went a little bit over. And 116 grams of fat for a total of 5,144 calories. I'm still hungry and I'm whooped. So I'll kind of recap this briefly tomorrow morning when I go for a walk. But for now, I'm going to sit on the couch, enjoy my my night snack, and go to bed because that was hard.